So let's get some more on that story now. Joining us live from Westminster is the Director of Progress, the centrist pressure group, Richard Angel. Mr. Angel, thanks very much for joining us this afternoon. Is there a Trotskyist entryism problem in the Labour Party?
I think Tom Watson's right to identify that a small group of people can have a really big impact on a political party of our nature. And there clearly are a kind of Heinz variety of far left groups who are trying to get into Labour, trying to influence Labour, and believe that the best way to pursue aims that they previously agreed outside the Labour Party is to join and become part of the Labour Party. And essentially, the way it works, it's like Russian doll politics. This small entry gets to control the bigger entity. So you get the member of AWL, joins a local momentum group, becomes a secretary, goes to their local Labour Party, gets to be the board rep at London regional level or a delegate at a party conference, and suddenly they're having a very big say when actually they come from a very, very niche part of the political system, which when they were standing as a party such as Tusk, they were getting tens, and if they're very lucky, hundreds of votes, but they're now trying to use the Labour Party to make a wider and bigger point, and that's not right.
Some of the language being used, though, Trotskyism, and I note a Mail on Sunday article today which is entitled "Why I Despise Jeremy Corbyn and His Nazi Stormtroopers." Are you in danger of smearing a lot of people who are joining this party enthused about politics?
I think that's the difference here is, Tom Watson and I and many others rightly welcome the hundreds of people, the thousands of people that are joining Labour, that are excited, that want to kick this Tory government back and want to make sure there is an alternative to them. But what we need to make sure people understand is there are small groups who are trying to have a disproportionate say. And crucially, these groups have decided their lines, their approach and how they want to take the country, not from within the Labour Party at our party meetings, but by being members of organisations outside the Labour Party, many of which previously, until very, very recently, registered as political parties and stood against the party. So the Alliance of Workers' Liberty, the Socialist Party, the Socialist Workers' Party, Tusk and many, many others. These are not people in the Labour tradition of parliamentary socialism. These are revolutionary parties, and they've not been welcome in Labour in the past, and that shouldn't have changed now.
Looking at the back and forth, I mean, the polls do show Jeremy Corbyn a long way behind. The infighting in the party, what is the future for Labour?
Well, look, the danger is we've got a 500,000 strong Labour Party, but 2.5 million people who voted for Ed Miliband just, 15 months ago, have decided they would prefer Theresa May over Jeremy Corbyn as their Prime Minister. And I regret that. We need somebody who's going to go and get those Labour votes back for Labour first, and then somebody who wants to orientate the party, not just from speaking at rallies of people who already agree with them, but going and convincing more people to agree with us. Because if we get those treasured votes from people who previously voted Conservative at the last election, we can be the government and we can be making these decisions. So the things that we're angry about in terms of cuts to Sure Start, the money that's being wasted, the fact we've got a referendum that went, in my view, in a regrettable direction, was all because we had a Tory government. And when Labour is focused not on the rallies or the internal processes, but on the concerns of ordinary working people, that's how they get things done. And the GMB union did a great thing this week and came out and previously supported Jeremy Corbyn and now changed their support to Owen Smith. But alongside that, they won a historic deal to get representation for their members in supermarkets that previously hadn't had a trade union representation before. It's real wins like that that take us to the real concerns of people that then focus us on how we win a general election.
Richard Angel, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon here on Sky News.
Thank you for having me.